How did a small forest animal with tiny hands and a masked face become one of the most unstoppable forces in our cities? How did raccoons, once shy woodland creatures, turn into fearless urban ninjas, scaling buildings, breaking into trash bins, and outsmarting humans at every turn? Their story isn't just about survival. It's about mastering the art of living alongside us, thriving in a world we never designed for them. So what makes raccoons so good at beating the urban jungle? Raccoons are one of the most recognizable and fascinating animals in North America. With their masked faces and nimble fingers, they have adapted remarkably well to a variety of environments. Originally native to wooded areas of North and Central America, raccoons have expanded their range due to their intelligence, adaptability, and opportunistic diet. They are now common not only in forests and wetlands, but also in urban areas where they have learned to thrive alongside humans. Scientifically known as Procyon lotor, raccoons belong to the Procyon family, which also includes animals like coatis and kinkajous. Their name derives from the Powhatan Native American word araucon, which loosely translates to animal that scratches with its hands. This is a fitting description, as raccoons are known for their dexterous front paws, which they use to manipulate objects, open containers, and even unlatch doors. Adult raccoons typically weigh between 10 to 20 pounds, though some can grow larger in urban environments where food is abundant. Their dense fur is usually grayish-brown, but their most distinctive feature is the black, mask-like markings around their eyes. This facial pattern not only adds to their charming appearance, but may also help reduce glare and enhance night vision, as raccoons are primarily nocturnal. Raccoons are omnivores with an incredibly varied diet. In the wild, they consume fruits, nuts, berries, insects, amphibians, fish, small mammals, and bird eggs. In urban settings, their menu often expands to include pet food, garbage leftovers, and anything edible they can scavenge. This opportunistic feeding behavior has made them highly adaptable, but it has also led to conflicts with humans who may view them as pests. One of the raccoon's most remarkable traits is its intelligence. Numerous studies have demonstrated their problem-solving abilities and memory retention. In one famous experiment, raccoons were able to remember solutions to complex puzzles for up to 3 years. Their curiosity and persistence often lead them into situations where they must figure out how to access food or shelter in human-made environments. This intelligence is further supported by their highly sensitive front paws, which contain a dense network of nerve endings, allowing them to feel textures and manipulate objects with incredible precision, even in the dark. Raccoons have a unique behavior that has often been misinterpreted as washing their food. When near water, raccoons may dip their food items and rub them between their paws. While it was once believed that raccoons were cleaning their food, this behavior is more likely related to their tactile exploration. Water enhances their sense of touch, making it easier for them to identify objects and food textures. Their social structure is relatively loose. Female raccoons are solitary, except when raising their young, while males may form small groups called brotherhoods, especially outside the breeding season. Mating typically occurs in late winter or early spring, and after a gestation period of about 63 days, females give birth to litters of 2 to 5 kits. The kits are born blind and helpless, relying entirely on their mother for warmth and nourishment. As they grow, they learn essential survival skills by observing their mother and practicing climbing, foraging, and using their paws to interact with their environment. Raccoons are excellent climbers thanks to their strong limbs and semi-retractable claws. They can descend trees headfirst by rotating their hind feet backward, a trait shared with very few other mammals. Their climbing ability not only aids in escaping predators, but also in accessing nesting sites and food sources that are out of reach for many other animals. Speaking of predators, raccoons must stay vigilant as they are preyed upon by larger carnivores such as coyotes, bobcats, owls, and domestic dogs. However, their intelligence, agility, and nocturnal habits help them avoid many threats. In urban environments, their primary dangers come from vehicle collisions and human-wildlife conflicts. Raccoons have become emblematic of wildlife adaptability in urban ecosystems. Cities provide them with an abundance of food and shelter opportunities, but living close to humans has its challenges. Many urban residents are familiar with raccoons rifling through trash cans or nesting in attics. To counter this, raccoons have developed astonishing problem-solving strategies to bypass locks and barriers designed to keep them out. This ongoing battle between human ingenuity and raccoon cleverness has only highlighted how resourceful these animals are. Despite their reputation as mischievous scavengers, raccoons play an important ecological role. In natural habitats, they help control insect and rodent populations and aid in seed dispersal through their droppings. Their interactions with the ecosystem maintain a balance that benefits a wide array of other species. Raccoons communicate through a variety of vocalizations, body language, and scent markings. They produce over 200 different sounds, including purrs, growls, hisses, and screams, each conveying different emotional states or intentions. During the breeding season, vocalizations become more frequent as males seek to attract females. Scent glands near their anus are used to mark territory and signal reproductive status, providing crucial information to other raccoons in the vicinity. In terms of lifespan, wild raccoons generally live up to 3 to 5 years, though they can survive longer if they avoid accidents and predation. In captivity, where threats are minimized, they can live over 20 years, showcasing their potential longevity when environmental risks are reduced. Another fascinating aspect of raccoon biology is their adaptability to various climates. From the humid forests of the southeastern United States to the frigid regions of Canada, raccoons have developed behavioral and physiological adaptations to survive. In colder climates, they build dens in hollow trees, abandoned burrows, even human structures to provide insulation against the cold. While they do not hibernate, raccoons enter a state of torpor during extreme winter weather, reducing their metabolic rate and activity levels to conserve energy. Their cognitive flexibility is one of the primary reasons raccoons have become such successful urban dwellers. Studies on urban wildlife behavior consistently rank raccoons among the top problem solvers in the animal kingdom. This intelligence, combined with their physical dexterity, allows them to exploit new resources and navigate complex environments more effectively than many other animals. However, their success in urban environments has also led to them being labeled as nuisance animals in many areas. Raccoons can cause significant property damage when nesting in attics or tearing apart roofing and vents. Their scavenging behavior often leads to messy garbage raids, which frustrate homeowners. Wildlife management agencies often emphasize humane deterrence and public education to mitigate conflicts, encouraging residents to secure trash bins, seal entry points, and avoid feeding wildlife. Interestingly, raccoons are also featured in folklore and mythology across various cultures. In Native American stories, raccoons are often portrayed as tricksters, using their wit and cunning to outsmart other animals and even humans. This cultural depiction aligns well with their real-world reputation for cleverness and mischief. Research on raccoons has increased in recent decades as scientists seek to understand how animals adapt to urbanization. Tracking studies have revealed that raccoons in urban areas have smaller home ranges than their rural counterparts because of the higher density of food sources. Additionally, urban raccoons display altered activity patterns, sometimes becoming more active during daylight hours in areas where nocturnal activity is riskier due to human presence. Raccoons are also known carriers of several diseases that can pose risks to humans and pets. Rabies is perhaps the most well-known, though not all raccoons carry the virus. Another concern is raccoon roundworm Bailey Sascaris persicus, which can be transmitted through contact with raccoon feces. This parasite can cause serious health issues in humans if ingested, emphasizing the importance of exercising caution when cleaning up areas frequented by raccoons. Despite these concerns, raccoons have managed to win the hearts of many wildlife enthusiasts. Their expressive faces, agile movements, and seemingly mischievous antics have made them popular subjects in wildlife, photography, social media, and even as animated characters in popular culture. This duality of being both adored and considered a nuisance encapsulates the complex relationship humans have with raccoons. As cities continue to expand and natural habitats shrink, the interactions between raccoons and humans are likely to increase. Understanding their behavior and needs is essential for promoting coexistence. Conservation efforts often focus on educating the public about humane ways to live alongside raccoons, emphasizing respect for their role in the ecosystem, while addressing practical concerns about property damage and public health. In addition to their adaptability, raccoons display remarkable parenting behaviors. Mother raccoons are known for their fierce protection of their young, often moving them to multiple den sites to avoid predators or disturbances. The bond between a mother and her kits is strong, with the young staying close to her for several months as they learn vital survival skills. Observations of maternal care in raccoons highlight their intelligence and emotional capacity traits that continue to intrigue researchers. From an evolutionary standpoint, raccoons are believed to have originated in tropical and subtropical regions, gradually expanding their range northward. Fossil records indicate that raccoon ancestors have existed for millions of years, with gradual adaptations leading to the modern species we see today. Their evolutionary success is a testament to their flexibility in diet, behavior, and habitat selection. Raccoons have also been introduced to regions outside their native range, including parts of Europe and Japan, where they have established feral populations. In these areas, raccoons are considered invasive species, posing threats to native wildlife and ecosystems. Their impact on local biodiversity has led to management efforts aimed at controlling their populations and mitigating ecological damage. Despite the challenges they pose, raccoons continue to captivate the curiosity of scientists and the general public alike. Their ability to navigate complex environments, solve intricate problems, and display behaviors that suggest advanced cognitive abilities places them among the most intelligent of non-primate mammals. As research progresses, we are likely to uncover even more about the intricacies of raccoon behavior, ecology, and cognition. In the wild, raccoons contribute to ecosystem health by participating in food webs as both predators and prey. Their scavenging helps with nutrient recycling, while their role as prey supports the diets of larger carnivores. The interconnectedness of raccoons within their habitats underscores the importance of maintaining biodiversity and healthy ecosystems. Ultimately, raccoons embody the delicate balance between wildlife and urbanization. They remind us that nature is not confined to remote forests or national parks, but is present in our backyards, alleys, and city streets. By fostering a greater understanding and appreciation for raccoons, we can learn to coexist with these remarkable creatures, respecting their place in the natural world, while addressing the practical realities of living alongside wildlife. Raccoons are also subjects of ongoing behavioral studies that focus on their learning processes and social interactions. While often considered solitary creatures, recent research suggests that raccoons have more complex social lives than previously believed. In urban environments, where resources are abundant, raccoons have been observed forming loose associations with other raccoons, sharing feeding grounds, and even occasionally denning in proximity to one another. These associations are not as structured as pack hierarchies seen in wolves, but they do indicate a level of social tolerance that may be driven by environmental factors. One of the most intriguing aspects of raccoon intelligence is their capacity for observational learning. Raccoons can watch other individuals solve a problem and then replicate the behavior to achieve the same result. This kind of learning is typically associated with more socially complex animals like primates and certain bird species, making it especially fascinating when observed in raccoons. This ability allows raccoons to rapidly adapt to changes in their environment by mimicking successful strategies observed in their peers. In addition to observational learning, raccoons demonstrate impressive spatial memory. They can remember the locations of food sources, den sites, and escape routes with remarkable accuracy, even after extended periods. This spatial awareness is critical for survival, especially in urban landscapes filled with obstacles and hazards. Studies involving maze navigation and object manipulation consistently show that raccoons can outperform many other mammals when it comes to memory-based tasks. Raccoons also exhibit playful behaviors, particularly among juveniles. Play is an essential part of development, allowing young raccoons to practice climbing, wrestling, and foraging techniques in a safe context. These playful interactions often mirror the skills they will need for survival as adults. Even adult raccoons have been seen engaging in play, suggesting that these activities might also serve social bonding or cognitive stimulation purposes. While raccoons are primarily nocturnal, they are highly adaptable in their activity patterns. In areas where human activity poses less of a threat, raccoons may become more crepuscular or even diurnal. This flexibility allows them to exploit food resources at times when competition is lower or when human presence is minimal. Their keen sense of hearing and excellent night vision are perfectly suited for nighttime foraging, but their adaptability ensures they can adjust to a variety of environmental pressures. The tactile sensitivity of raccoon paws is among the most refined in the animal kingdom. Their forepaws contain a dense concentration of mechanoreceptors, making their sense of touch incredibly acute. This tactile ability allows raccoons to identify objects and discern textures with precision, a skill particularly useful when foraging in murky water or rummaging through debris in search of food. They rely heavily on this sense to navigate and interact with their environment, often preferring to explore objects through touch rather than sight. In terms of communication, raccoons utilize a combination of vocalizations, body postures, and scent marking. Vocal sounds range from soft coos and chirps to aggressive growls and screeches, each serving specific social functions. Body language, such as raised fur, arched backs, or submissive crouches, conveys emotional states and intentions. During interactions with other raccoons or potential threats, scent marking is achieved through secretions from their anal glands, urine, and feces, providing information about territorial boundaries and reproductive status. Raccoons are known for their problem-solving abilities, but they also display remarkable patience and persistence when faced with challenges. Unlike many animals that give up after initial failures, raccoons will repeatedly attempt to overcome obstacles, often trying different strategies until they succeed. This trial and error learning process highlights their cognitive flexibility and determination, traits that have allowed them to thrive in environments altered by human activity. Urban raccoons often come into contact with humans, leading to a range of interactions from benign curiosity to direct conflict. Wildlife rehabilitation centers frequently deal with orphaned or injured raccoons, providing care and reintroduction programs to help them return to the wild. However, human attempts to domesticate raccoons have largely been unsuccessful due to their independent nature and mischievous behavior. While raccoons can form bonds with humans, their natural instincts often lead them to engage in destructive or unpredictable actions when kept as pets. One of the lesser-known but critical roles raccoons play in their ecosystems involves their interactions with plant life. By consuming fruits and berries and dispersing seeds through their droppings, Raccoons contribute to the regeneration of plant populations. This seed dispersal is vital for maintaining biodiversity and supporting the growth of new vegetation. In both wild and urban areas, the reproductive cycle of raccoons begins with mating in late winter, followed by a gestation period of about 2 months. Female raccoons seek out secure dens to give birth, often selecting hollow trees, abandoned burrows, or sheltered human-made structures. The kits are born blind and deaf, entirely dependent on their mother's care. Over the course of several months, the mother teaches her offspring essential survival skills, gradually weaning them as they become more proficient at foraging and climbing. Juvenile raccoons remain with their mother through the summer and into early fall, after which they gradually become independent. Males tend to disperse farther from their natal range, while females may establish territories closer to their birthplace. This dispersal pattern helps reduce inbreeding and allows raccoons to colonize new areas, further contributing to their widespread distribution. In addition to their ecological significance, raccoons have captured the imagination of artists, writers, and filmmakers. Their cleverness and expressive faces have made them ideal characters in children's stories and animated films, often depicted as cunning tricksters or lovable rogues. This cultural representation, while sometimes exaggerated, reflects the real-world qualities that make raccoons such intriguing animals. Raccoons' interactions with other wildlife are equally fascinating. While they are known to prey on smaller animals, they also find themselves competing with other scavengers like opossums, foxes, and skunks. These interactions often revolve around access to food sources, leading to a dynamic web of relationships within their ecosystems. Raccoons have been observed engaging in both aggressive and tolerant behaviors, depending on the availability of resources and the density of competing species in a given area. One significant challenge facing raccoons is the increasing encroachment of urban development into natural habitats. While raccoons have adapted remarkably well to city life, habitat fragmentation still poses risks, including reduced genetic diversity and increased exposure to human-related dangers like traffic and pollution. Conservation efforts focused on creating wildlife corridors and preserving green spaces are crucial for supporting healthy raccoon populations and maintaining ecological balance. Raccoons' remarkable adaptability is also evident in their dietary habits. While their preference for sugary fruits and protein-rich insects remains consistent, urban raccoons have broadened their palates to include fast food remnants, pet kibble, and even birdseed. This dietary flexibility not only sustains them in diverse environments, but also poses challenges in managing human-wildlife interactions, as easily accessible food sources often attract raccoons to residential areas. Public attitudes toward raccoons are mixed, with some people viewing them as charming urban wildlife and others considering them troublesome pests. Efforts to foster coexistence often involve community education programs that teach residents how to secure garbage, eliminate potential denning sites, and avoid feeding wildlife intentionally or unintentionally. Such measures are essential for reducing conflicts and promoting a respectful relationship between humans and raccoons. Technological advancements have also played a role in studying raccoon behavior. GPS tracking collars and remote camera traps have provided researchers with unprecedented insights into raccoon movement patterns, habitat use, and social interactions. These tools have revealed that raccoons navigate their environments with a level of sophistication that rivals many larger mammals, utilizing complex routes and remembering safe passageways across urban landscapes. Raccoons' role in disease. Ecology continues to be a subject of research, particularly in relation to zoonotic diseases. Understanding how raccoons interact with domestic animals and humans is vital for public health initiatives. Surveillance programs aim to monitor raccoon populations for signs of rabies, and other infectious diseases, allowing for timely interventions. To prevent outbreaks, despite their challenges, raccoons have proven to be remarkably resilient. Their ability to learn from experience, adapt to new environments, and navigate human-dominated landscapes ensures their continued presence in both rural and urban settings. This resilience makes them an excellent model species for studying wildlife. Adaptation in the face of rapid environmental change. Raccoons are not only urban survivors, but also significant players in rural ecosystems where they fulfill various ecological functions. In forested regions, raccoons contribute to controlling insect populations, feeding on beetles, grubs, and caterpillars that could otherwise damage vegetation. Their foraging habits help regulate the balance of prey species, indirectly supporting plant health and aiding in the maintenance of ecological equilibrium. Additionally, raccoons' scavenging activities play a role in nutrient cycling as they help break down and redistribute organic matter throughout their habitats. Another fascinating aspect of raccoon behavior is their ability to recognize and remember individual humans. Studies have shown that raccoons can differentiate between people who have fed them, chased them away, or remained neutral. This capacity for facial recognition is more commonly associated with primates, yet raccoons demonstrate similar abilities, likely as an adaptation to their frequent interactions with humans. This memory enables raccoons to adjust their behavior based on prior experiences, choosing when to approach or avoid particular individuals. Raccoons also exhibit advanced auditory discrimination, capable of distinguishing between different human-made sounds such as the rustling of a snack bag versus the clatter of an empty container. Their hearing is finely tuned to detect subtle auditory cues in their environment, a trait that assists them in locating food and avoiding potential dangers. This sensitivity extends to recognizing the unique sounds of predator movements, allowing them to remain alert and responsive to threats, even in densely populated urban areas. The impact of raccoons on local bird populations has been a subject of ecological concern. As opportunistic nest predators, raccoons will consume eggs and nestlings when accessible. In areas where bird habitats overlap with dense raccoon populations, predation pressure can be significant, potentially affecting the reproductive success of certain bird species. Conservation strategies aimed at protecting vulnerable bird populations often involve raccoon management efforts, such as installing raccoon-resistant nesting boxes or creating buffer zones that deter raccoon access. In their natural habitats, raccoons serve as both predators and prey. They face predation from larger carnivores like coyotes, bobcats, and owls, particularly when they are young or in more remote environments. In urban settings, the primary threats to raccoons are vehicular collisions and encounters with domestic dogs. Despite these dangers, raccoons have developed a range of defensive behaviors, including climbing, swimming, and using their dexterous paws to manipulate obstacles and escape from confined spaces. Swimming is an often overlooked ability of raccoons, yet they are proficient swimmers, capable of crossing rivers, ponds, and even coastal waters when necessary. Their partially webbed feet make them efficient in aquatic environments, allowing them to forage for aquatic prey such as crayfish, frogs, and small fish. This adaptability enhances their versatility as omnivores and expands the range of ecosystems in which they can thrive. Seasonal behaviors in raccoons also reflect their adaptability. In colder climates, raccoons will reduce their activity during the harshest winter months, seeking shelter in dens where they remain in a state of torpor. Although not true hibernators, raccoons can significantly lower their metabolic rate to conserve energy during times of food scarcity. In milder regions, raccoons may remain active year-round, taking advantage of consistent food availability and favorable weather conditions. The cultural symbolism of raccoons varies across societies. In Native American folklore, Raccoons often appear as trickster figures, celebrated for their cleverness and resourcefulness. These stories highlight the raccoon's cunning nature, portraying them as problem solvers who use wit to overcome challenges. In modern media, raccoons have been anthropomorphized into mischievous yet endearing characters, further cementing their reputation as clever opportunists. Human fascination with raccoons has also led to scientific interest in their evolutionary history. Genetic studies indicate that raccoons diverged from their closest relatives, such as coatis and kinkajous, millions of years ago. Fossil records suggest that raccoon ancestors were already displaying traits of adaptability and opportunistic, foraging long before they encountered human-altered landscapes. This evolutionary lineage underscores the deep-rooted survival strategies that have enabled raccoons to persist and flourish across diverse environments. Raccoons' climbing abilities are another testament to their physical prowess. Their strong limbs, sharp claws, and excellent balance allow them to scale trees, fences, and even vertical walls with ease. This climbing aptitude is not just a means of escaping predators, but also a vital foraging strategy. Many of the fruits, nuts, and bird nests that raccoons seek are located high above ground, necessitating their impressive vertical mobility. Another intriguing behavior observed in raccoons is their use of anointing or rubbing substances onto their fur. While not as common as in some other species, raccoons have been seen applying odorous materials like sap, soil, or even artificial scents to their bodies. The purpose of this behavior is not fully understood, but hypotheses suggest it may play a role in camouflage, parasite deterrence, or social signaling. Continued observation and study of this behavior could provide deeper insights into raccoon self-care practices and social communication. In addition to their individual behaviors, raccoons influence broader ecological networks through their role as ecosystem engineers. By digging, foraging, and disturbing leaf litter, raccoons inadvertently aerate soil and facilitate seed dispersal. Their activities can alter microhabitats, affecting the distribution of insects, fungi, and plant species. These cascading effects highlight the interconnectedness of raccoons with other components of their ecosystems, reinforcing their ecological importance beyond their immediate foraging impacts. Efforts to mitigate human-raccoon conflicts often involve non-lethal deterrence. These include motion-activated lights, ultrasonic repellents, and specially designed trash containers that prevent raccoon access. Such measures aim to discourage raccoon activity in sensitive areas without causing harm, promoting a coexistence model that respects the needs of both wildlife and human communities. However, the success of these interventions often hinges on public cooperation and awareness, as consistent human behaviors are necessary to prevent raccoons from becoming habituated to deterrence. Raccoons' reproductive strategies also reflect their adaptability. While they typically give birth once a year, favorable conditions can lead to earlier breeding or even occasional second litters. Litter sizes vary, but larger litters are more common in resource-rich environments where juvenile survival rates are higher. This reproductive flexibility allows raccoons to rapidly increase their population in suitable habitats, which can lead to local overpopulation if not balanced by natural predation or environmental constraints. Veterinary care for raccoons, particularly in rehabilitation contexts, requires specialized knowledge due to their unique physiology and behavioral tendencies. Treating injured or orphaned raccoons involves managing stress, preventing imprinting, and ensuring that the animals retain their wild instincts necessary for survival upon release. Wildlife rehabilitators often work closely with veterinarians to develop protocols that balance medical treatment with the goal of successful reintegration into natural habitats. Public health campaigns aimed at reducing raccoon-human conflicts often emphasize The importance of vaccination programs. Oral rabies vaccine baits have been used successfully in several regions to control the spread of rabies among raccoon populations. These programs involve distributing vaccine-laden baits in strategic locations, encouraging raccoons to consume them and build immunity. Such initiatives have proven effective in curbing rabies outbreaks and safeguarding both wildlife and human populations. Raccoons' interactions with domestic pets are another area of concern, particularly in suburban neighborhoods. While raccoons generally avoid confrontations, conflicts can arise over food or territory. Educating pet owners about securing outdoor feeding areas and supervising pets can reduce these encounters and minimize risks of injury or disease transmission. The adaptability of raccoons extends to their use of urban architecture. Rooftops, attics, crawl spaces, and even storm drains become potential den sites for raccoons navigating cityscapes. Their ability to exploit these man-made structures often brings them into closer proximity with humans, necessitating effective exclusion techniques such as sealing entry points and installing chimney caps. Professional wildlife control services are frequently called upon to address raccoon intrusions, balancing humane removal with habitat exclusion strategies. Despite their reputation for mischief, raccoons continue to captivate researchers, conservationists, and the general public. Their behaviors challenge assumptions about the limitations of small carnivores, showcasing an array of cognitive and physical skills that rival many larger, more traditionally studied species. The ongoing study of raccoons not only enhances our understanding of urban wildlife dynamics, but also provides broader insights into the processes of adaptation and survival in a rapidly changing world. Raccoons have also become the focus of behavioral research that delves into their problem-solving capabilities. In controlled experiments, raccoons have demonstrated remarkable ingenuity when faced with complex puzzles, such as unlocking containers with multiple latches or navigating intricate mazes to retrieve food rewards. These studies reveal that raccoons possess not only keen observational skills, but also an ability to learn through trial and error, adjusting their strategies based on the outcomes of previous attempts. Such cognitive flexibility is a defining trait of species that thrive in variable environments, further explaining the raccoon's success in both wild and urban landscapes. One of the more intriguing facets of raccoon behavior is their apparent use of planning in problem-solving tasks. Observations have recorded raccoons manipulating objects in ways that suggest foresight, such as stacking items to reach elevated food sources or using sticks to probe inaccessible crevices. While this does not equate to human-level planning, it indicates a level of cognitive sophistication that rivals that of some primates and corvids. These behaviors underscore the raccoon's reputation as a master opportunist, capable of innovating solutions to overcome environmental challenges. Raccoons' sensory abilities also contribute significantly to their adaptability. Beyond their sensitive touch and acute hearing, raccoons possess a highly developed sense of smell. Their olfactory capabilities allow them to detect food from considerable distances and discern subtle chemical cues in their surroundings. This heightened sense of smell aids them not only in locating edible resources, but also in identifying potential threats or opportunities, such as the presence of other animals or humans in the vicinity. In agricultural settings, raccoons can pose a challenge to farmers due to their penchant for raiding crops, particularly those bearing sweet fruits like corn, melons, and berries. Their dexterity enables them to peel back husks, pry open containers, and extract seeds with precision. However, raccoons also contribute positively by consuming agricultural pests, such as insects and rodents, thereby providing a form of natural pest control. Balancing these opposing impacts is a key consideration in wildlife management strategies for agricultural landscapes. The study of raccoon vocalizations offers another window into their social behaviors. Raccoons produce a variety of sounds, including chirps, growls, purrs, and whimpers, each serving specific communicative purposes. Vocal exchanges between mothers and their young are particularly nuanced, with subtle variations in pitch and tone conveying reassurance, warnings, or instructions. Adult raccoons also vocalize during mating encounters, territorial disputes, and when signaling distress. Understanding these vocal patterns provides valuable insights into raccoon social dynamics and emotional states. Urban environments have fostered the development of raccoon subcultures, where distinct behavioral patterns emerge based on localized experiences. For example, raccoons in certain city parks may become habituated to human presence and engage in bolder foraging behaviors, while others in less frequented areas maintain more cautious routines. These microcultures illustrate the species' capacity for cultural transmission, where knowledge and behaviors are passed from one generation to the next, influencing how raccoons interact with their environment. The relationship between raccoons and human waste management is a persistent theme in urban ecology. Overflowing trash bins, unsecured compost piles, and improperly stored pet food create a buffet of opportunities for raccoons. This abundance of resources can lead to artificially inflated raccoon populations in some neighborhoods, increasing the likelihood of human-wildlife conflicts. Addressing these issues requires coordinated efforts from municipalities and residents alike, emphasizing the importance of proper waste containment and community education. Technological innovations are being explored to mitigate raccoon-related nuisances. Smart garbage bins equipped with locking mechanisms that open only for authorized users are being tested in various urban centers. These devices aim to outsmart raccoons' dexterous paws and problem-solving skills, although early reports suggest that raccoons remain formidable adversaries, occasionally devising ways to bypass even sophisticated deterrents. This ongoing battle between raccoon ingenuity and human engineering highlights the dynamic nature of urban wildlife management. Raccoons also play a role in zoonotic disease dynamics, serving as reservoirs for pathogens that can affect both wildlife and human populations. Beyond rabies, raccoons can carry leptospirosis, toxoplasmosis, and various parasitic infections. Public health initiatives focus on monitoring raccoon populations for signs of disease outbreaks, employing both passive surveillance through reported incidents and active measures such as field sampling. These efforts are essential for early detection and response to potential public health threats. The study of raccoon genetics has revealed fascinating insights into their evolutionary adaptability. Genetic diversity among raccoon populations tends to be high, even in urban settings where isolation might be expected. This genetic variation is a key factor in their resilience, enabling rapid adaptation to new challenges. Additionally, genetic studies have uncovered evidence of regional adaptations, such as thicker fur in colder climates and behavioral tendencies that align with specific environmental pressures. Efforts to understand raccoon movement patterns have been enhanced through the use of GPS tracking collars. These devices provide real-time data on raccoon home ranges, travel corridors, and habitat preferences. Findings indicate that urban raccoons often establish smaller, more densely packed home ranges compared to their rural counterparts, reflecting the abundance of concentrated food sources in city environments. Conversely, raccoons in less developed areas maintain larger territories to meet their nutritional needs. Educational programs aimed at fostering human appreciation for raccoons emphasize their ecological roles and unique behavioral traits. Nature centers and wildlife rehabilitation facilities often host raccoon ambassadors, providing opportunities for the public to observe these animals up close and learn about their natural history. Such outreach initiatives aim to shift public perception from viewing raccoons as mere pests to recognizing their significance as intelligent and adaptable members of the urban ecosystem. Research into raccoon social structures continues to evolve, challenging the long-held belief that raccoons are strictly solitary. While adult males typically maintain independent territories, females and their offspring exhibit complex social interactions, forming loose associations that can persist beyond the weaning period. These social bonds may offer advantages such as cooperative foraging or shared vigilance against predators, suggesting that raccoon sociality is more nuanced than previously understood. Raccoons' interactions with water extend beyond mere foraging. In some regions, raccoons have been observed engaging in playful water-related behaviors, such as splashing, chasing floating objects, or engaging in mock hunts. While these activities may serve practical purposes, like honing hunting skills or cooling off in hot weather, they also indicate a level of environmental engagement that transcends simple survival behaviors. The legal status of raccoons varies, widely depending on jurisdiction, influencing how they are managed and protected. In some areas, raccoons are classified as nuisance wildlife, allowing for lethal control measures under certain conditions. In contrast, other regions afford raccoons a degree of legal protection, emphasizing humane management practices and prioritizing coexistence strategies. Understanding these legal frameworks is crucial for wildlife professionals and residents navigating raccoon-related challenges. Innovative research has explored the potential benefits of raccoons as bioindicators, using their presence and health as measures of environmental quality. Because raccoons occupy a range of trophic levels and frequently interact with human-altered landscapes, fluctuations in their health and behavior can signal underlying ecological shifts. Monitoring raccoon populations can therefore provide early warnings of issues such as pollution, habitat degradation, or disease outbreaks. In suburban environments, raccoons often occupy a middle ground between urban boldness and rural caution. These raccoons navigate a patchwork of backyards, parks, and natural green spaces, exhibiting flexible behaviors that allow them to exploit human resources while remaining wary of potential threats. Their presence in these transitional zones underscores the importance of landscape connectivity, as fragmented habitats can influence movement patterns, genetic diversity, and population dynamics. Technological advancements in non-invasive research methods, such as motion-activated camera traps, have greatly expanded our understanding of raccoon behavior in natural settings. These tools allow researchers to document raccoon activities without disturbing their natural behaviors, providing authentic insights into their nocturnal routines, social interactions, and habitat use. The resulting data contributes to more effective and informed wildlife management strategies. Raccoons have increasingly become subjects of ecological studies focused on urban wildlife corridors, which are green pathways that allow animals to move safely between fragmented habitats. These corridors, such as riverbanks, utility easements, and connected parklands, are critical for raccoons to maintain genetic flow between otherwise isolated populations. Maintaining these corridors not only supports raccoon health and diversity, but also benefits a multitude of other urban adapted species, reinforcing the broader ecological importance of thoughtful city planning. The impact of artificial lighting on raccoon behavior is another area of ongoing research. As nocturnal animals, raccoons are adapted to operate under low light conditions, but urban environments bathe nightscapes in artificial illumination. Studies suggest that raccoons alter their foraging habits in response to these light sources, sometimes avoiding well-lit areas to reduce predation risk, while in other cases exploiting illuminated zones where food availability is higher. Understanding these behavioral shifts is key to managing urban ecosystems in ways that accommodate wildlife needs. Raccoons' remarkable ability to climb vertical surfaces is due in part to their unique skeletal structure. Their hind feet can rotate up to 180 degrees, allowing them to descend trees or buildings headfirst. This anatomical adaptation gives raccoons an incredible advantage when navigating their arboreal or urban environments, enabling them to escape predators, access food sources, and explore areas that would be inaccessible to less agile creatures. In ecosystems where raccoons are not native, their introduction has led to ecological imbalances. For example, in parts of Europe and Japan, where raccoons have been introduced either accidentally or deliberately, they have become invasive species, preying on native fauna, competing with indigenous wildlife, and impacting local ecosystems. Conservationists in these regions grapple with the challenge of controlling raccoon populations to protect vulnerable native species, while considering humane and ecologically responsible methods. Raccoon reproduction involves a gestation period of approximately 63 to 65 days, after which the female gives birth to a litter of typically 3 to 5 kits, though larger litters are not uncommon. The mother raises her young in dens located in hollow trees, abandoned burrows, or human structures. Like attics, during the first few months, the kits are entirely dependent on their mother, learning critical survival skills through observation and guided exploration. The maternal bond is strong, with mothers fiercely defending their offspring against threats. While raccoons are primarily nocturnal, their activity patterns can shift based on environmental pressures. In areas with minimal human disturbance, raccoons may exhibit crepuscular or even diurnal behaviors, particularly when food resources are abundant. During daylight hours, this behavioral plasticity allows raccoons to optimize foraging efficiency and avoid competition or predation, highlighting their ability to adjust temporal activity to fit situational needs. Raccoons communicate extensively through scent marking, using secretions from their anal glands to delineate territories and convey information about reproductive status or individual identity. This olfactory communication plays a pivotal role in social interactions, helping raccoons avoid conflicts by signaling presence and territorial boundaries. Scent marking also aids in mate selection, as chemical cues provide information about genetic fitness and health. The role of raccoons in seed dispersal is an emerging field of interest. By consuming fruits and subsequently excreting seeds in different locations, raccoons contribute to the propagation of various plant species. This ecological service enhances plant diversity and supports ecosystem resilience, especially in fragmented habitats where traditional seed dispersers may be absent or diminished. Raccoons thus participate in a subtle yet impactful aspect of ecological dynamics. The diet of raccoons varies significantly with the seasons. In spring and summer, they favor protein-rich foods like insects, amphibians, and bird eggs, which support reproductive efforts and growth. During fall, raccoons shift toward high-calorie foods such as nuts, fruits, and grains, building fat reserves to sustain them through winter periods of reduced activity. This seasonal dietary flexibility is a key factor in their survival across diverse climates. Raccoons exhibit a phenomenon known as neophobia, which is a cautious approach toward unfamiliar objects or situations. However, in urbanized populations, this trait is often diminished due to constant exposure to novel stimuli, fostering bolder, more inquisitive behaviors. This reduced neophobia enables urban raccoons to exploit a wider range of resources, though it also increases their risk of negative encounters with humans, such as vehicle collisions or entrapment. Human attitudes toward raccoons are deeply polarized. Some people admire their intelligence and charisma, celebrating them as urban wildlife ambassadors. Others view them as nuisances or vectors of disease, calling for stricter control measures. Bridging this divide requires public education efforts that emphasize both the ecological roles raccoons play and the importance of responsible human behaviors, such as securing trash and avoiding intentional feeding in wildlife rehabilitation. Contexts: raccoons present unique challenges due to their intelligence and dexterity. Young raccoons quickly learn how to open enclosures, manipulate locks, and escape containment. This necessitates specialized enclosures that account for their problem-solving capabilities while also providing enrichment to support their cognitive development. Successful rehabilitation prepares these raccoons for reintroduction into suitable habitats, where they can resume their natural roles in the ecosystem. Raccoons have been featured prominently in media and popular culture, often depicted as clever, tricksters, or lovable rogues. These portrayals, while sometimes anthropomorphized, capture the essence of raccoon behavior, their curiosity, adaptability, and occasional mischievousness. Popular franchises featuring raccoon characters have contributed to public fascination, further embedding raccoons in the collective imagination as symbols of survival and ingenuity. Technological advances in genetic research have opened the door to studying raccoon populations at a granular level. By analyzing DNA from hair samples, feces, or environmental residues, scientists can assess population structure, relatedness, and migration patterns without the need for invasive methods. These insights inform conservation strategies, particularly in managing urban populations and ensuring genetic diversity is maintained amidst habitat fragmentation. Raccoons' nocturnal foraging excursions can span several miles in a single night. Depending on resource availability, their spatial memory allows them to remember the locations of food sources, dens, and safe routes, enabling them to navigate complex urban landscapes with efficiency. This cognitive mapping capability is a testament to their spatial intelligence, which is on par with that of many larger-brained mammals. While predation pressure on raccoons is reduced in urban environments, natural predators still play a significant role in shaping raccoon behaviors in rural areas. Coyotes, bobcats, great horned owls, and alligators are among the predators that target raccoons, particularly juveniles. These predators help maintain balanced ecosystems by regulating raccoon populations, preventing overexploitation of resources that could otherwise lead to ecological degradation. In addition to environmental challenges, raccoons face anthropogenic threats such as road mortality, poisoning, and trapping. Wildlife crossings, public awareness campaigns, and humane deterrent methods are crucial components in reducing human-induced raccoon mortality. Community engagement and informed policymaking are essential to fostering coexistence strategies that benefit both raccoons and human residents. Ultimately, raccoons embody the spirit of adaptability, thriving at the intersection of wilderness and urban sprawl. Their journey from forest dwellers to city survivors reflects broader ecological themes of resilience and ingenuity. By understanding and respecting raccoons' behaviors, ecological roles, and needs, humans can cultivate a coexistence model that celebrates biodiversity while mitigating conflict. The story of raccoons is not merely one of survival, but of evolution in the face of relentless change, serving as a microcosm of how nature adapts, persists, and flourishes amidst the complexities of modern human landscapes. Raccoons aren't just survivors, they're adapters, problem solvers, and maybe even the cleverest neighbors we never invited. As cities keep growing, so will their presence, slipping through the cracks and turning every challenge into an opportunity. The question isn't how we stop raccoons from taking over. It's how long it'll take us to catch up to their level of cleverness.